There have been a lot of changes in the food sector in recent years, most of them due to changes in society. Lifestyles today are more sedentary, with less time for eating, less time for cooking, and this leads to nutritional deficiencies or food-related illnesses. Consumers are increasingly better informed on the habits they need to adopt for a healthier lifestyle, which means that they've increased their consumption of healthier foods. This trend towards healthier eating has led to an increase in the consumption of chicken, which is seen as the healthiest meat by most consumers, compared to the pork or beef meat.
Nowadays, there are lots of products which aren't very good for you, and there shouldn't be too many of them in our children's diet. At home, we've always been reluctant to give him sweets or cakes, except on special occasions. It's our responsibility as parents not just to feed our children, but to teach them to eat well, to feed themselves properly. And that's difficult when there are so many products on the market which are much more attractive to children than more traditional products like meat, fish, milk, fruit, vegetables. And I especially get problems with chicken meat, with chicken legs. We think it's healthy and appetizing meat, but Alex often rejects it because he can't stand seeing the bone and the meat around it looking dark or black. It makes him... he doesn't like it.
Discoloration of the bone and the meat around it has been identified as one of the characteristics of chicken legs, which not only limits their consumption in some countries, but also has a negative impact on the shelf life of the product. The poultry industry has already recognized this problem, known as black bone syndrome. In Roslin Institute, linked to the food industry and focused on improving animal health and welfare, we talked to Bob Fleming, who is currently studying the black bone syndrome in collaboration with DSM Nutritional Products.
Chicken meat is one of the most commonly eaten meats. The poultry industry has grown up around increasing consumer demand, and it's now producing ever faster growing chickens. This faster growth rate means that the skeleton's weaker, so now there's an increase in the incidence of bone deformity and fragility. Younger birds are more susceptible because they have less bone mineral and increased bone porosity. They have cortical bone that's not very well consolidated due to their faster growth.
Problems with the bird skeletons are a constant worry in the poultry industry the world over, as they're responsible for significant losses during processing and slaughter, and in the quality of the meat. An animal's growth rate has an influence on the way the organic bone matrix is formed. Rapid growth rates in chickens can affect their capacity to form a strong, compact bone matrix, making it more porous and thereby weakening the bone structure. This rapid growth thus predisposes the bone to deformity and fragility. Bone fragility and porosity are related to the discoloration of the meat adjacent to the bone. This discoloration is due to the migration of blood and pigments from the bone to the meat, which when the bird is cooked leads to a dark meat consumers find very unattractive and is known in animal nutrition as black bone syndrome.
Vitamin D3 is an essential nutrient needed for growth, health and development of bones. It stimulates the absorption of calcium and phosphorus from the intestinal lumen, and it also promotes their reabsorption from the kidney tubules. This homeostatic function of vitamin D3 is important in providing enough minerals to be incorporated in the bone matrix, and thus it prevents many forms of bone disorder.
Vitamin D3 is synthesized in skin exposed to ultraviolet radiation from 7-dehydrocholesterol. This dependence on ultraviolet radiation limits vitamin D3 synthesis to areas of the skin not covered by feathers, which means that the conversion doesn't happen in commercial birds reared in environmentally controlled sheds that don't receive much exposure to sunlight. To cover the bird's vitamin D3 requirements, the vitamin is normally added to the animal's feed in vitamin-mineral premixes. Vitamin D3 is hydroxylated first in the liver into its 25-hydroxycholecalciferol form. and then in the kidneys into its 1.25 dehydroxycholecalciferol form. This is the final biologically active metabolite, which plays its part in calcium metabolism and cellular differentiation.
Supplying 25-hydroxy-D3 directly to the chicken makes conversion to 1,25-dihydroxy-D3 much easier to achieve, which optimises the functions the vitamin D3 metabolites have in the organism. The vitamin D3 status of farm animals can currently be improved by supplementing vitamin D3 or 25-hydroxy-D3 through their feed.
Thanks to High D, we've been able to make chickens healthier and in better welfare conditions. This has a direct influence on the quality of their bones by strengthening them and improves their well-being, a factor that's increasingly important to consumers. It also improves the quality of the fresh meat, and when it's cooked, it reduces the incidence of black bone syndrome, and so satisfying the requirements of consumers.
I don't have any problem with chicken legs now. They don't have that blackish look anymore as if there was something wrong with them. They look healthier, more attractive. Alex loves them. This way we can have a healthy, balanced diet at home. Teach our children how to eat properly. That's the most important thing for us.